We have 10 athletes on the field, Olympic champions, world champions. What can we expect? More world records, hopefully. Max, I think we know that there's a favorite amongst this group with Karlos Nasar. He's the world record holder in the clean and jerk and total. He has held a world record in the snatch. Yeah, he actually doesn't mind the camera. Well, I say he doesn't mind. He actually quite likes it.
Oh, yeah.
He really does. He's come to really warm to the cameras and the crowd.
Yeah.
And he can probably hear the cheers in the crowd as his face pops up on the screen.
Basically, Karlos gets stopped for photographs all the time. And he seems to be always willing to just set the bag down, take a photo, move on. You know, he's a pretty welcoming guy in that way.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah.
Might enjoy the attention a little bit too. Nothing wrong with that.
I think he doesn't mind it.
Yeah.
I think he doesn't mind it, that's for sure. I was obviously fortunate enough to spend a week with Karlos, you know, just in the middle of his training camp with him and his sort of physio, you know, friend, manager, Litkov, the two of them, and we ate every meal with them. Every training session, we hung out every evening. Every trip to the barbers, to the grocery store, to wherever, we were with them, and just getting that deep insight into, you know, into their lives, into their training, but also just into who Karlos Nasar is as a person was extremely interesting.
Yeah.
Much deeper than the sort of the loud mouth, you know, muscular, tattooed exterior might make you believe.
Yeah, he's quite a bit. There's quite a bit more depth to that story than you'd think at first. Yeah, it's definitely a stronger clean and jerk field here.
Yeah.
Barring basically just Karlos and Karpetyan in the snatch. Everybody else is going to be in the mid 160s, maybe high 160s.
Yeah, there's Karlos and Litkov getting prepared. Well, we've not mentioned it yet, Max, but I think the elephant in the room is the 185-230 that Karlos did in the Bundesliga 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, as a total,
it's not too bad.
415. You know, the heaviest that anyone else has done in this category. Lida ended 396.
And what do we think he weighed in? He was around...
He was 92.9.
92?
Yeah. So heavy. You know, I don't think we can expect either of those numbers here today.
No.
But, you know, 183, 225, a kilo on each. It would be a new world record in both lifts. It would be a total world record, and it would move his Sinclair ahead of Rizky Nasir, who won the whole Sinclair battle of the last quad.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that might be a Sinclair that is unbeaten if he hits it.
Yeah. I mean, Karlos is the one of only a few lifters out. I mean, it's Lasha who kind of broke out of those numbers, the all-time numbers. I mean, no one's ever touched the numbers that Lasha did. Maybe the clean and jerk has been around there. We've seen 266 before. But certainly, I mean, to do that many snatches over 215, over 220, do 225, never before done. Maybe not even again.
Yeah.
Karlos is in that kind of rare territory. I mean, he could be a lifter who puts up a total that is so big, it's remembered for all time. That would have held up, you know, competing in the 1980s.
Yeah. Which makes it more impressive.
It makes it extremely impressive.
So they're calling for Karlos. Will he come out? Who knows? He's only just made 160 kilos. You know, he can handle a 10-kilo jump.
Here's Karlos now, 170.
Playing a smart game. He knows that this is his world championships to lose in many ways. Huge support for the Olympic champion. And just physically, I mean, he's a caliber above the rest, isn't he?
Yeah, you can just tell.
He's got a lot of confidence walking up to this weight, which you would when you almost power snatched this the morning he arrived.
Yeah.
He hit it for multiple singles that day. He snatched 185 a few weeks ago.
10 seconds. Easy.
There we go. Wow. And he's up and he's on the board.
You know, that lift will essentially secure him probably the world championship because his clean and jerk is monstrous. Now he can do whatever he wants, really.
Yeah, absolutely. There's Litkov in the back. They're so close. Great story Karlos grew up in the small town in Bulgaria, and Litkov was actually at school with Karlos's mother, though they didn't realize this at the time. Litkov then came to the UK and was a huge fan of weightlifting, and saw this young kid called Karlos Nasar from his hometown and decided to try and support him, would send him, you know, $100 here, $100 there. And then when he came back, he met Karlos, saw Karlos' mother, and thought, I used to go to school with you.
So now it is the Karlos Nasar show.
Yeah.
176 goes on the bar. What do we get from him, though? What does he take for a second? What does he need on his second to set himself up for a world record?
Take the gold medal.
That's true. He could even go from 76 to 83 if he really wanted. He's so powerful, or he might just leave it there.
He's taken 10-kilo jumps in the Bundesliga in the snatch.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
gone from 75 to 85.
Yeah, I mean, these are weights that are just above his power snatch. I mean,
He's
he
capable.
A phenom.
See what he does.
176.
He won the European Championships with this lift.
Easy snatch.
I mean, he's a caliber above the rest. He is a different breed, this man. That's the gold locked up.
Yep.
For Karlos Nasar. He has one attempt remaining. The only question is, what on earth does he do?
Do we see a 180?
Do we see a 180? I would have thought so. But the question is, do we see a 183? Yeah. The world record was first set at 180 kilos by Lee Dae-in at the 2023 Asian Champs. It was then beaten by Karlos at the World Cup in April, 181. A minute later, Jason Lopez beat it again with 182. That's the only snatch world record Karlos has ever held in any category.
Yeah.
And he wants it back. We recently posted a video of Jason beating Karlos in the snatch, and Karlos came and found me, and he said he wasn't very happy with that. He said, I only went to Thailand on holiday.
Yeah.
He said, I was there on jet skis, I was there going out for dinner, I was barely even trying. He said, I am the teacher now. So if he's a man of his word, we should see 183, but I just don't know if he can do a 7-kilo jump.
He's going for it.
He's going for it.
The crowd erupts here.
This is the best crowd we've seen so far. That's for
Massive jump.
You know, I was just about to, rationalize a 180, 225 world records, but
Karlos Nasar is not a rational man.
I'd like to take a 7-kilo jump, please, to 183 kilos.
You know, if you can snatch 183, you can do it whenever you need.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't need to take some kind of even jump. This is a man who knows exactly what he wants. Put it on the bar. Yeah. This one goes out to
this is
Jason Lopez, I think.
I think this is pretty hit or miss. I mean, this is...
It's a big attempt. It's a huge jump. It's a big attempt. If anyone can do it, it's Karlos.
You know, Karlos has made 11 straight international snatches.
Wow.
I mean, he hasn't... This is his 4th competition where he hasn't missed anything.
183.
This for a new senior world record. A 10-kilo lead above anybody else in this category. 10 seconds.
There it is.
Oh, can he get up with it? Yes, he can. Is there any weight that this man cannot lift? At 20 years of age, he is the #1 weightlifter on the planet right now.
Phenomenal lifting from Karlos Nasar.
And one of the first times I've seen him truly pushed in the snatch. He really gave that everything. He caught that as low as he could go.
What an extraordinary event to witness.
That is just sensational. And you know what? Added motivation for him. I didn't mention this before, but I think it's time to say it. His father is in the crowd today.
Wow.
Yeah, Karlos actually lived in this part of the world, I think in Lebanon, for the first couple of years of his life. So he says he feels very home in this very at home in this culture. Lived in Paris at one point, then he moved there.
Yep.
And then he spent most of his life in Bulgaria without his father. But occasionally they meet. He turned up in Paris, actually, the first time they'd seen each other in years, and Karlos won the Olympic Games. And they haven't seen each other since. He turned up this morning. They saw each other briefly and sat directly in front of Karlos in the crowd. He came and he watched his son just set a senior world record.